Good morning. Good morning. Hey, 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 hey. Look who I got on here. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Let me do the birthdays and prayers real quick. Welcome, Susie McCray. I love you, sis. She's got the sexiest elbows I've ever felt. But we'll go. All right, let's get into the notes here. I will be, before I do that, we had a person that passed away that I just put on the prayer list. Let me sorry, I gotta find it. I know where it's at. Um, Yesterday we put a lady named Diane Spencer on the prayer list in the cancer section. The Lord took her home yesterday. Our condolences uh, to Diane's family. We are very sorry from all of the impassive world. We send you a lot of love and prayers and support. And she's never going to be forgotten. And she's always going to live on. That's how I look at life. So, our condolences. Back to the birthdays. And then we're going to pray. And then Susie's going to get into it, which I'm real excited to hear her say. So, happy birthday to Don Bedell Santillo, Betty Kenner, Mohammed Mafous, Susie, my great pronunciation of all these words. I remember back in the day, you and Cindy Hopkins would do that. Remember that? I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. It's hard to do, man. Rufuno Akulu Yahoo, happy birthday. Payas Raj, happy birthday. Deepak Mishra, happy birthday. Donnie Mead, happy birthday. And Joe Woden, happy birthday. I hope you have a blessed day. Prayers for healing. Anitra, we're praying for you. She had 2 heart attacks, a young girl. We're praying for you. Daniel, my niece. Zach DeGarmo with his leg. Peter Rogers, Phil Lard, Richard Merlano, Dawn Riviera, David Penny and family. Anuradia, we're praying for you. Kathy Kruski's mom, we're praying for you. Dave Loras' father, we're praying for you. Fatmata, we're praying for you. Teresa Pierre, we're praying for you. Miriam Weinberg, David Switzer, Eugene Rome, Samlu Kundu, Sergio Mani Narzuri. This is my tongue starts twisting the other way, Suze. Wally Cochran, we're praying off for you. Mark Olson's sister Kathy, Catmo K. Moss and her husband, Melissa Ann and her friend Sam, Jerry Nix, we love you, Jerry. Pam Stanovich, Eric Stanovich, Myra Aquino, mother Nellie. You got to meet Nellie. I haven't met her, but she sounds like she's pretty cool because Myra's pretty cool. We're praying for you, Kevin Rutledge and Pam, God's Time Thomas and his father, Milo, Kevin Curtis, Larry, Marty's roommate, Brenda Herr. Thank God he's in there because I think he keeps Marty busy. Bob Pierce and his wife Mary, Stephen Brocklehurst, Norelli Warcon, Cynthia Downtown Brown. We know Cynthia, don't we? Susie knows Cynthia. Bill Must and John White just did a phenomenal video. John just sent me another text. I'll read it in a minute, John. Number one, we're praying for you, Bill. And thank you for this video you made. It was about what I was saying yesterday. And man, you put it right in perspective, brother. I appreciate you. So thank you, John. Brucey Gerstein and his brother Edmund, Judy Miller and Russ, Pat Pear and her daughter and her neighbor Dennis. Chloe and Julie have not got an update. Hopefully I'll get one today. We're praying for you, Judy Reese. We're praying for you, Tina Medcalf. We want you to get that liver. Oof, we're still praying hard for that, Tina. Terry Thompson and her mother, Loretta Presley. Hope she's doing great, Terry. John O'Cott. Roy Davies. Here's our eyeballs again. Mine are all over the place today. Cindy Hopkins, Grace Tamanjun, William DeLorme, Harold Fox. I love you, brother. Ruthie Pace. Me and Susie love you. That's my favorite part, Susie. You know that. Red and Jane's mothers and the Redferns. Red is coming on today with Monday Fun Day with Jane, I think 1 o'clock. Sandra Fenning's mother, Seeds Academy, P&G, Ash Mufare. Is it Mufara? Mufara. We love this guy. Thank you, Ash, for all you're doing. I brought on your favorite lady in the whole world today because she's got something important to say. But we're praying for you, you and your wife and your kids. Marty DeGarmo is moving along. Yeah, he's bored, but he's getting his butt kicked in the morning. We're still going to pray for Marty constantly with his family, Dawn, wife, Dawn, the kids. We're praying for you, Marty. Keep going strong. And I did ask Marty, can I bring Susie on? because I've said in the past, I don't want to disrespect them, but Susie's got something very important to say. I'm telling you. You can say some prayers for me and my daughter and my son and my family. I thank you for those people fighting and beating cancer. Jiao Sao Li Vang daughter, Nancy Vang, say that 10 times real fast, Suze. That's a tough one. The Jiao Sao Li, I get it sooner or later. Andrea Dodds, Carl Everett, Tina from my work, Phil Smith, Kenneth Fung, Tom Taylor, Dane and Darius, Robin Noble, Mr. Jean Chang Yang, Joyce and Melvin Hicks, William Carmichael, Patty Prescott. We love you all. We're constantly praying that God takes that nasty thing away from you. And for everyone on the list, I'm praying for you every day. 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a day, because I want you all better and healed. All right. Now, you see this, we're going to get into it in a second. I want to introduce this lady. I met her. She's full of life. She's fun. She's the kind of lady that everyone should have in their life, as far as I'm concerned, because not only is she smart, very educated, very smart, and she actually was the only one to ever embarrass me. And she got me really good in Boston. But I love her with all my heart. She called me, or I called her yesterday. I can't remember. And we were having a conversation. And when I'm talking to people, I'm listening for keywords. That's how my brain thinks. She said something. I said, Susie, I got to say this. So I'm writing it down. I said, you know what? Can you please just come on the live tomorrow and say it for me? What she's about to tell you. Let me get to the chat. I want everyone, you can still write in the chat and say hi to Suze, but please pay attention to what she's saying. It's very, very important, because this is what locked in my brain. Oh my God, Susie, that's powerful. So on that note, I'm going to bring on the most beautiful lady I know in a passive, my first lady, Miss Susie McCray. The floor is all yours.
Oh my God, Chris, you are, you crack me up. You're too kind. Also, I have someone working on the front door, so if you hear some noise in the background, I apologize up front. But I want
to. I work with Marty DeGarmo. He's always got.
I know. I kind of miss him yelling at the dogs and the parrot. But thank you to you, Chris, and to Marty for having me on today. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful that you thought what I was saying was important. So I really appreciate it. The other thing is, I listen to the lives every day. I'm not always on at 9 and in the chat or whatever. I'm out walking or what, but I just want you to know we appreciate all that you and Marty do every day. And I know Red does his live, Sherry Dursaway, Comfort. There's so many people doing it that we really appreciate it. So even though I'm not there at the exact time, I listen and I think it's great. So funny enough, what I'm going to talk about, I believe I talked about before, but why not? So if this is a repeat for some people, just listen again. And I've got a couple things to talk about. First of all, when Chris and I were talking yesterday, we were just catching up. We don't talk a lot to each other, but when we do, we were on for a while, just talking about stuff, what we're doing in life. And one of the big things that we talked about was people right now, we're maybe in a holding pattern and waiting, but it doesn't mean it stops you from living your life and living your best life and living the best version of yourself. Because there's other people who, are going back to work, doing whatever they need to do. And in that discussion, I told Chris, I have been kind of involved in so many community activities. And I'm going to just kind of give you a full circle of how it started and where I am now. And this is my story. You all may have similar stories to this, which is great. And maybe this will put on your thinking cap to think of some things you can do. So back in 2018, my parents were at a level 4 rest home. Actually, it was 2019. a level 4 rest home. So it was a little bit more than an assisted living, very small place called the Lathrop Home. And when we got them there, I'm like, wow, this place is great. This is special. And I asked the executive director, what can I do to give back, to volunteer? And she kind of knew a little bit about me. And she said, we would love to have you on the board of directors. And I'm like, I have no idea what that even entails. She said, don't worry. So I came on the board of directors, and what I've been able to offer, it's going to be 6 years in September that I've been on the board. I was the president at one point, then they have term limits. I'm the secretary now, whatever. I'm the head of the personnel committee. But what it's done is it's connected me with that community, with the one of the communities I grew up in. I've met so many interesting people on the board, interesting families and residents. We do fundraisers. I've met different business owners in town, just have networked with so many people. Then in the last year or so, I also have been involved locally with our Amherst Dog Park. And that was created. Of course, a lot of you know, I have a little dog named Charlie, and she and I go there. I've developed different network there, and in talking with people and sharing our lives, I've learned so much about other people. They've learned about me, and I started helping them. Okay, because I think most of the people here and watching this, and part of what we are doing here is to give back. So I said, okay, I can give back. So I helped them do an event. I helped go out and get donations. I went with a friend with flyers, face to face, belly to belly, to businesses, to people, getting involved with the Chamber of Commerce, doing all of those things. And it was fun, and it is fun. It's like unbelievable the feeling you get when you are connecting the dots with people and people come together, because not only did it make me feel good, all the people involved, it feels good that they're part of something bigger than themselves. I think genuinely people want to give back. They may not know how, but every little bit helps. And when, like I always say, many hands make light work, that's the kind of stuff we do. We get people connected. Then all of a sudden, Chris, people come out of the woodwork. Like they come up with ideas. They get creative. Did you think about this? And I'm going to get more into that. So I've got those two things going on that, and within those groups, we have people who have had surgery recently. And I started meal trains. I learned about how to do a meal train. There's a site you can belong to. And we helped two people from the dog park, one with who's an older woman with shoulder surgery. I helped set it up. I got volunteers. People loved it because they want to help. And once again, doing the meal trains with two different people. We had Myra, and then we had Sherry, who had her foot operated on. It gave people a way to give by bringing meals, giving rides to appointments, walking their dogs, bringing their dogs to the dog park. And what it did for these people was, instead of them relying on one person to help them do everything, it was all different people, all different visitors. It was spread out. So not only did the recipient who had the surgery feel good about it because they felt like they weren't being a burden on one or two people, but also the people helping out could pick and choose what they wanted to do, when they could do it. And I'm telling you, the meal train was I learned a lot about that. And now I've set it up, and I'm teaching other people how to set it up so they can help loved ones who may have something that's impacted them where they need support. And then they give back. So that's all fine and dandy. So anyway, the third thing I'm involved with, and sometimes I bite off more than I can chew. Maybe there's an ulterior motive to that. We all like to help. We all like to problem solve. We all like to jump in with ideas. And I've told this story before. My dad passed away in September 2022. And in October of that year, I was riding around by myself and I went down by the big farm. And that's where my dad used to work. So in 1961, the year I was born, our family moved to Belchertown, Massachusetts, and we lived on the grounds of the Belchertown State School, which was, for people with developmental illness, developmental things going on. And we lived on the grounds, and my dad was the head farmer. So Joe McCrae was the head farmer. He was in charge of the dairy, the chickens, and the horse barn. And he had horses, work horses, all of that. And my dad supplied the milk and the eggs for that state hospital, state school, as well as a couple others. He worked with residents from the state school who were very high functioning, and that was their life. They loved working with my dad. They would get up early in the morning, milk the cows. My dad was out growing cow corn. They had silos. I spent a lot of time down there at the barn. There were horses there. And my dad started a therapeutic riding program, which was unique back in the early 70s. And what he did was he had smaller horses that he brought in, and he would get residents that maybe, had a high level of autism, were kind of lost within themselves. And my dad would get them on horses, and it was magical what would happen. They would just come to life. And that therapeutic riding program was down at this farm. So I'm driving around in October. I'm down there, and there's two people coming out of the old horse barn. And I introduced myself and I said, I was thinking of my dad. He was the head farmer here. They're like, oh, we know who Joe McCrae is. We're on the board of directors. I went back in the barn and remembered all the special things about it. So that was 2022. And I've kind of been involved with them. We're trying to restore the barn because the cupola is in trouble. There's big holes in the roof. Structurally, it needs help. And I'm telling you, people want to get involved. They care. They saw me at the Belchertown Fair last fall. I was promoting it. We had a GoFundMe. People were, buying raffle tickets and all of that. And then I waited a little bit and eventually did join their board of directors this past January. And I'm telling you, it has given me more than I've given it, even though, I'm involved in things. I'm doing fundraising. I'm helping them with the things that I am good at. I'm not a farmer. I'm not good about giving classes on gardening or any of that. But one of my fortes is like maybe organizing things and getting people involved in things. So I started doing that, and we were able to, raise a little money, but we needed a lot of money. And we just found out Saturday, it fully got approved, $157,000 from the Community Preservation Association in the town approved it. So starting July 1st, we're going to start making all of these renovations to save the historic barn, which is near and dear to my heart. So we've been doing tag sales. We've been doing raffles. I was involved a couple weeks ago and this weekend. And I got to tell you, Chris, it's magical. I was down there. My brother Bob was helping me. People came up to the raffle, the tag sale. I was in the barn, and they were telling stories about my dad. They remembered the McCrae family from being in town. We were there until 75. Then we moved to a neighboring town because they closed the farm. It got closed because they said it was unconstitutional for the residents to be working without pay. That's a whole other topic that was very disturbing at the time, because these residents, very high functioning residents, were lost after my dad had to leave the farm. You know, he went on to the Agricultural Extension Service at the University of Massachusetts, helped 4-H, helped small farmers. But it was so wonderful. We were there, and Bob and I were there, and this older woman comes up. She goes, "I remember you McCrae kids." She goes, "There was a whole bunch of you. There's 7 of us." And it was the school nurse. And we were like, "Oh my God." And she had a plot of land on this area where the barn is, and she does her own gardening there. She handed me a check for $500. And I was like, "Oh my God." And then these 2 young women came in. Well, not young. They were young when I knew them. I used to babysit them. They came in. They wanted to donate. They wanted to buy raffle tickets. They were telling stories about my dad. A physical therapist came in. She says, "I remember your dad from 1972. I was first a physical therapist. I would bring everyone down. He was the nicest man. I'd get them on the horses. Your dad was great." And it was like, it warmed my heart completely. But prior to the raffle, I went around town with my flyer, and I started soliciting businesses. And I was like, "Would you like to donate?" My dad was the head farmer. This is near and dear. So I was able to garner a whole bunch of donations. But you know what, Chris? This is where I'm connecting all the dots. When I started doing all these things, it was from here. Okay. And I did it because the ulterior motive was it felt good. Yeah, it's hard work sometimes, but it felt good. I felt like I was giving back. I had never really done that in my life. Yeah, I helped people. Yeah, I did things. I worked in the corporate world a lot, and that kind of burnt me out from wanting to do anything above and beyond. It was kind of like you worked and you're like, enough. I can't be on any committees. I can't do anything. But what I've learned is, I wished I had done this earlier, but it was at the right time and it was my timing. And as I'm doing all of this stuff, ulterior motive, feels good, little bit of ego, like, yeah, I'm on the board for this. I help them. Talking points when you're talking to people, all good stuff. But Chris, as we were talking yesterday, I said, I am out there doing my best to live my best life and the best version of myself. And what's going to happen when this business launches? Okay. How many people have I met? How many people have I connected with? How many people have I helped? How many people have reached out to me? I had someone the other day, they have a drone. They're up taking pictures of the barn. They sent them to me last night saying, "Susie, you can do a before and after as the donating their time." I'm like, how many people have I connected with in these past years that when we launch, I have something so powerful to help them and to offer them? And it's not going to be a cold call. It's not going to be awkward. It's going to be wonderful, because I know what Ash Mufara is building is a magnificent platform. And as I go around to these businesses and I meet people, I see their struggles. I see them using all different platforms to get things done. I see the amount of money they're spending, for all different tools that they're using. We have conversations about things, but selfishly, what's going to happen is I am going to monetize what I've done. And I'm not going to feel bad about it, because I've put the time and energy into engaging with people, because I love to do that. I find people so interesting. And I really believe down deep, Chris, people want to be a part of something, even if it's just giving a little bit. It can lift their spirits, make them feel good. Isn't that why we like doing stuff? It has such a good feeling. So in talking about that, and I've had this, messages with Ash in the past about we have an obligation to be the best version of ourselves. It's not always easy. It's not always pretty. We're always kind of thrown wrenches here and there in our lives, some more than others. But if you wake up every morning and you think about being the best version of yourself, what does that mean? You evaluate, maybe, what did I do yesterday? What could I do better today? You think, what commitments did I make? Did I follow through on my commitments? That's sometimes difficult for me. I overcommit because I bite off more than I can chew. And I'm slowly, if you see that and you catch it, that's the most important thing. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being the best all the time. It's about, how can I be better, the best version of myself, and what things do I need to modify? And you catch yourself like, oh, that wasn't too good. I shouldn't have been talking about that person to that person. Susie, get on back onto the positive. So I do know the messages that I have in the past back and forth with Ash, and he agrees. He agrees. Look at what's happened to him in his life. And he shows up with you to visit Marty, and tell me that wasn't the best version of Ash Mufara that day. Lighting up a room, which is what I love about him, having fun, picking up JJ, hugging everybody, smiling, providing, nourishment, food, joy, fun. Saying, why do you lock the love out? I love that when they lock the doors. Yeah. Why do you lock the love out? Why don't you bring it in? So, I kind of look at him as a wonderful role model. But anyway, in full circle, I've done all these things. And I guess my message to everyone is, find something you enjoy, go out, do it, get involved. Even if you can donate a little of your time or volunteer. The people you meet, the connections you make, we're all human beings out there. Everybody needs that kind of cohesiveness, and to give to your community is so rewarding. Phew. Okay, Chris.
Very, very good. What I got out of the phone call yesterday and what Susie's saying now, she's done a lot, but in the process, she's made many connections from higher ups to average Joes like me, or Chris's, I should say. And that's what I wanted to bring around here for, because this is something, to be honest with you, that everyone should be doing. Making those connections now, not only just doing stuff you enjoy doing, but you're coming across different people every day. When they see who you are, they're going to want to join everything that you're part of. That's what Susie's doing. She's connecting to the world in different levels, thinking about, oh, this person, wow, yeah, they're going to be amazing, and turning lives around every single day. But the most important thing is she's connecting to people for the future of when this company takes off. Listen, I said it a million times. There's going to be no one out there, minus the naysayers with their attitudes, that's not going to want to be in this business.
This is why I say,
yeah, throw them to the curb, And we all know that's part of when you do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Even connecting to those people, I'll say it again, and they're listening right now. You're going to join. I hate to tell you this, but you're going to join. And you know what? I'm a pretty forgiving guy about things that have been said, mean, all that. But some people I have a hard time forgiving, but everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome.
Absolutely.
We
Yep.
do because Ash Mafara wants to spread the wealth throughout the world. He wants you to go out and connect with individuals who I believe in his mind are helpful, loving, passionate, compassionate. And that's really all he's looking for. He doesn't need a Bruce Springsteen or a big rock star, a big baseball player. We do have professional sports people in this company. Okay. Does he necessarily need him to speak out? No. He's got 1 million people right now speaking on a daily basis about what this company is all about.
It's
And
grassroots, Chris. It's
as
grassroots because you may think that just doing a little isn't going to be impactful. Well, you are totally wrong. You're
yes,
totally wrong because I used to think that too, that it needs to be big, big, big. But as individuals, when you do this grassroots effort and you start connecting the dots, be curious, ask questions. I ask questions all the time of the people I meet. I get to know about them, their family, and then know what they do. And then all of a sudden people start saying, oh, this person can help here. Have you reached out to this person? And all of a sudden it starts to snowball. But you're right. Everyone can do that. We all have a choice every day to choose to be a better version of ourselves. What does that look like? What does that mean? I talked a little bit about it. Does it mean working on healthy eating? Does it mean on exercising? Does it mean going out and getting fresh air? Does it mean stop spending time with people who are bringing you down?
yeah,
You
amen.
know, I've had that recently, and I was like, since I've kind of cut things off with, as we say, a Debbie Downer. Oh my God, I didn't realize how much effort I was putting in trying to
Great.
lift them up. And I was like,
Yeah,
I wasn't winning. I wasn't winning, Chris.
you're a little too heavy.
Yeah, yeah. But you have a choice. And we have a choice. I'm not perfect by any stretch, but I think if you're enlightened to think about what does the best version of yourself mean and look like, how do you want to show up? What things can you do to help that? Yeah, we may fall off the wagon here or there, but as long as you know you fell off and you make the correction and then you get back on, it's all good. You're going to feel so much better.
Absolutely. And we talked about it yesterday about that right road, which one to choose. And Susie's absolutely right. It's your decision. It's your choice. No one's forcing you anything. Listen, we just want to force you to be successful in this company. That's what Ash Farah wants to do. He says you got a choice. You could stay or you can go. God bless you no matter what. I love you. But if you don't believe, he says that then go do something else. I say go build your own company and see what you can do.
And he says he postures so well,
Yeah.
and I think Mike Ellis had brought this up in one of his videos. You can buy the products, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's like he knows how great it's going to be.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on who's going to come shopping with us.
Exactly.
It's just that kind of posturing and confidence. And yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I get excited even with quite a few people on here in the chat saying, "When are we going? When do we launch?" When Ash, and I'll say it, when Ash says ready, set, go, that's when we're go. We don't have timelines, and he doesn't give us timelines. Why? Because if he gives a timeline and something doesn't happen 3 seconds after it doesn't, people go crazy. So he said smartly, when it's ready, when I'm ready to throw the switch, I'm going to let you all know, and you better be ready. He says all the time, be prepared, be ready. Do what Susie's doing. Connect to the world through all kind of individuals, because when it takes off, Susie's circle is going to get really, really big fast.
Yeah, and you just, don't think of it as overwhelming. Oh my God, I can't be on a board. Or maybe you're someone, I have no problem talking to people ever since I was little. And I know we're all made up a little bit different. But don't think of it as biting off this big chunk that you can't chew. Think of some little things. Think of some little things that you like to do and that you can do and that you can participate in. Because, I never in a million years thought about being on a board of directors. It frankly scared me because I had no idea, what to do. But it's really not that everyone's the same way. They're like, no, let's go with it. We follow the bylaws, and then going from one and then adding another to my plate, I've been able to bring ideas from both back and forth.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you start off little, find something you enjoy doing, go out and do it. Even like I said, going to the dog park, the unbelievable people I have met and the businesses. And yeah, it's just great. It's great. And you gotta, go out and live, because this is going to happen. This is going to happen, and it's going to be the frosting on the cake. In the meantime, if you're down in the dumps or you're concerned or you worry, yes, I know a lot of people have their different struggles, but go out and smile and connect with people. And that may just help just enough each day.
Yeah.
For some of you that are struggling.
The summer's coming. It's hot. Go put a lemonade stand in front of your house.
There you go.
Before you know it, that lemonade stand is going to turn in. Man, that person was really nice. I really enjoyed
I'm gonna set one up at your pool.
There you go. Yeah.
But should I have blue lemons?
Yeah, blue lemon. Everything's blue.
What is that drink? What is that Elvis drink? Was Blue Hawaii?
Blue Hawaii.
Yeah.
Too. So, but very, very good, Susie. In other words, as Ashbafara said, you had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So whether you're doing a lemonade stand or you're cutting somebody's grass, you're still connecting to people. Now, I go on YouTube, I watch all kind of stuff. There's people in this world today that go out and cut people's grass, that have it. They see, oh my God, this hasn't been touched in years. They go up and they talk to them. We want to do all this for free. And they get a little bit of story out of them. My husband passed away or my wife passed away, and I just didn't have the money. I just didn't have it in me to do anything. And this guy comes along, a lot of them, and they do 2 days worth of work to clean up the complete property. They made connections. And what do? They get on YouTube. YouTube, you make a lot of connections, good and bad, but you're still making connections, because when this takes off and it goes viral, we're going to come back. Who was that lady? Susie McCrae was talking about how she was connecting things. I got to get a hold of her. That's exactly what's going to happen. I got to get a hold of Deborah Long. I got to get a hold of Norelli, Jean.
But it's got to start here, Chris.
Absolutely.
The ulterior motive is from the heart, because if you go out there thinking about how you're going to build your business by connecting with people, that is the wrong way to go. That's more transactional, I would say, instead of relational.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to talk about how it came full circle. When I joined the different boards, it wasn't like, ooh, think about all these people in my network. But the dots have been connecting like in the last, 6 months. And I've spoken about it before on somebody's live. Think of all these people. And I helped do our 45th high school reunion. I helped do it. Because I could help do the coordination and stuff. But now I'm connected back again with all of those people. We know what's going on in their lives. Now I can help them. But I didn't do it to get an email list.
Yeah.
Which I got one. I got one with 300 people.
Right.
I'm in charge of the email list. And it's not like I'm going to blast them or anything. And I didn't do it to do that. I did it because I knew I could help in some way, and it felt good. And we had such a blast. That was last September, our 45th. Yes, I'm getting older, but older, but better.
I see the younger version of you is Caitlin Clark, that basketball player.
Oh, jeez.
Remind me of you. You know why?
Why?
I shared a story the other day. I didn't realize this. She's the lowest paid women's basketball player. She makes $300,000 a game. She donates all of her money to these foundations for kids. literally.
Wow.
And now she makes deals with Nike and she's making money, but she's giving the majority of it away. She goes, sometimes I don't even have enough to buy myself a sandwich.
Wow.
Helping people.
I didn't know. I thought you meant because I had a really good shot when I played basketball
Yeah,
in high
you were
school. I
really
thought that was before 3-pointers. You
yeah.
know, I sunk a few of those, Chris.
Woo, wait, you're showing your age now.
I would throw my elbow.
Oh, don't
And
throw that envelope.
I could elbow on defense
You
too.
gotta save the elbow for Susie McCray. So, but that's the whole key, guys. It's just about getting out and talking to people. First impressions are everything, I believe. Uh, if you impact someone's life just by talking to them, smiling at them, telling them good things, it's awesome. Like Susie said something very important again. Thing I picked up. Well, I have a 300 email list. She said, I'm not going to bother them. You know why she's not going to have to bother them? Because they're watching Susie grow. They're going to watch her flourish. Those 300 people will be contacting Susie. You really don't have to do nothing. People are going to be watching your life. They're going to be watching Susie, me, and all of you on social medias. Oh my God, what are they doing? I got to check this out. Hey, Suze, what the heck are you doing? That's how it's going to happen. I don't care what anyone says. It's going to go viral through people, normal, average people like us, like you, and it's just going to take off and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm ready for it. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Susie, great.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Chris, you and Marty. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys do. Like I said, I watch every day, not right at 9, but sometimes when I'm out walking the dog or
You're
whatever.
fired.
I hear all the details. I knew about the Fruit Loops.
Well, you know. Hey, look what they gave me today. Fruit Loops.
I know. Marty, God bless you. Fruit Loops. Oh my God. We used to make, when we were kids, Fruit Loop cookies. There was a recipe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
all sugar. Anyway.
Susie McCray, I love you, sister.
I love you too. Thanks for having me.
You inspired a lot of people today. A lot of great comments in here saying hi, Susie. Well, they miss you. We're gonna have to do this again.
Okay.
Electrical car guy's talking about you too. Now you are important. Greg Lycan, the electrical car guy. You know.
Oh, Greg up in Vermont.
Yeah.
How could I forget him?
When we wake him up, he's talking about someone. Boy, you definitely caught the light on there for him. But Susie, thank you. We love you. Thank you for everyone joining. We had almost 400 people on here today, which is really, really good. Again, keep up the prayers for all our family members. Silent prayers for those and all over the world. And we're gonna rock this out. And I get to join Susie because I definitely she's part of my circle. We talked about
I'm coming to your pool.
That she's coming to my pool. It'll be fun. We'll have a fun.
I'm teasing.
She's bringing.
I may just surprise you, though. Yeah, I may just surprise you, Chris.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. Love you all. Yeah,
pleasure, Susie. You guys have a great day. Today, Red's coming on at 1 Monday Fun Day with Jane. Pay attention to things I'm not paying attention to, like the webinars, all the things that are coming this week. Have not chatted with Ash Mafara because he's really busy and I leave him alone. All right. Let him work. Let him do what he's doing. And you're all going to be in awe and shock. Susie McCray, I love you.
Love you all. Thank you, Chris.